Hello everybody, welcome to Untappd Beer Reviews. This is what we're looking at today. This is the Hopster Session IPA from Microbrew British Craft Beer Selection. This IPA comes in at 3.9%. Right, trying to retouch on the label. Let's crack it open, shall we? Let's see what we've got. Ooh, it's lively, it's lively. Bought this from B&M, paid about £1.20, £1.30 for it. It's their own, it's B&M's own exclusive label, brewery, brand, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm getting some citrusy smells off it on the pour, which is always a good. Not always good, but sometimes means at least it's got something in there. You sometimes got to remember that if they charge me £1.20 for this, some brewer somewhere, because it's obviously not brewed by B&M, we've got to knock this out for something a lot cheaper than £1.20, which is difficult to do. Yeah, for being honest, I never expect much from these cheap beers, IPAs, lagers, whatever it is I'm trying. But I did try over the Christmas period the Microbrew, the Christmas pudding and custard stout, and whilst a lot of people didn't like it, I actually quite liked it, to be fair. So whilst I don't expect anything from this, I'm expecting something from this. Right. So that has poured a straw colour. It's a little bit of haze in there. It's poured with a good head. It is a little bit frisky on the pour, and there's still a decent amount of carbonation still up in that glass. Head's receding quite quickly, actually. It's not holding the head, I don't think, that well. In fact, let's get a little bit more in there, shall we? All in there now. Right, let's see what the aroma's like, shall we? It is citrusy. It's fairly mild though. Not sure I managed to smell that on the pour, but I did. There's some orange in there, some lemon in there. There's perhaps a hint of grapefruit in there as well. It's so mild, it's difficult to actually make out. Yeah, do you know what? For £1.20 beer, it smells pleasant enough. Let's see what it tastes like, shall we? Cheers, everybody. Quite thin. We'll see, quite thin. It is very thin. It feels almost like drinking water. There isn't a lot of flavour in there either. It's like flavour-wise, there's not a lot happening there as well. There's not a lot happening in the flavour at all. Yeah, getting some sweet malt through, and then I'm getting some of those hot flavours in there. There is some zesty orange. A little bit of lemon. A little bit lemony. A little bit of bitterness at the back end. It's, what did I say, it was 3.9%. 3.9%. It tastes like a cordial. It's got that, and a wheat cordial at that. Yeah, just try. Very little flavour coming through it. Very little flavour. There is a hint of sweet malt in there. There is a hint of zesty orange. It is a little bit lemony. It's very thin. Yeah, score wise, when you throw out the price, £1.20, man, it's a difficult one. I'm going to score it 3.5 out of 10. It's made an attempt. Let's have a little read of it now. It's made an attempt. I think what always is, like I started off by saying, when it comes to something like this, B&M sold this to me for £1.20. A brewer will have to brew it, can it, get it to a B&M. The B&M will have to distribute it, and all that's going to cost, I would guess, less than £1. So you're not going to put a lot of flavour into it. A crack team of bearded brewers bring you this hot fest of a session IPA. Dry hop to keep a mellow finish with orange, lemon and grapefruit notes. We got those actually. Very, very minor, but we did get those. Brewed in small batches, an award-winning microbrewery in the South Pennines. It's got Chinook, Cascade and Mosaic in it. It might have, but there's not a lot in it. Yeah. Do you know what? I've had worse, but I've had a billion times better, and it's worth paying twice as much, and I'm a really decent one. What I would say is, if anybody's had this, if anybody's thinking of getting this, if anybody's got one of these in a fridge, in a cupboard, ready to go, thinking you're going to start your journey on craft beer, don't get this out and buy it. It's not a good example of craft beer. There's better out there. Certainly if you want to dip your toe and just see if you're kind of starting to like the flavours, do it. Yeah, but don't let it put you off craft beer. There's better out there, believe me. Yeah, so 3.5 out of 10. That's all it's worth. Cheers everybody.